And then the whole backside, you know, is out.
These are the 9 best moments from Heated Rivalry, the Canadian hockey romance that became Crave's most watched original series ever and earned a 98% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. When this adaptation of Rachel Reed's best-selling novel premiered on Crave and HBO Max in late November, it didn't just meet expectations, it shattered them, proving that honest queer storytelling combined with genuine chemistry could create something truly extraordinary.
I love you. I love it.
Today we're breaking down the scenes that made Heated Rivalry a cultural phenomenon, from intimate hotel rooms to championship ice, and exploring why these moments resonated so powerfully with audiences around the world. Before we dive into the moments themselves, let's establish what made this show possible.
So this is basically 90% of where I was filming, but it's like
Heated Rivalry follows Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov, rival hockey captains whose on-ice competition masks a decade-long secret romance, with Shane playing for the Montreal Metros while Ilya captains the Boston Raiders. Their story unfolds across stolen moments, hotel rooms, and the constant tension between their public rivalry and private connection.
Why the fuck did you think it was okay to sex me before the game? What the fuck?
You were hard, weren't you?
Jacob Tierney created, wrote, and directed the show, adapting Rachel Reed's novel with a level of seriousness that romance rarely receives on screen. Reed herself served as consulting producer, and she later said that if she built the perfect actors in a lab, she could not have built better people to play these characters than Hudson Williams and Connor Story.
You like tuna melt?
You wanna make me a tuna melt?
I was gonna make one for me, I can make 2.
Both Williams and Story were working as restaurant waiters before being cast, and their chemistry was immediate. Williams later described his first impression of Story during auditions by saying the other guy felt like he was going to pin him down, using more colorful language, and that raw, undeniable connection became the foundation of everything that followed. The 6-episode first season premieres simultaneously on Crave in Canada and HBO Max in the United States.
What the? I'm coming to the cottage.
Becoming an instant phenomenon, Crave reported a 400% viewership increase in the first 7-day streaming window, and HBO Max called it their top debut for an acquired, non-animated title since the platform launched. Now let's get to the moments that made it all work.
I've heard the term boy aquarium, right? And they just sit on the glass and
Number 9. We start where the show starts, when Shane and Ilya are rookies paired together for a commercial shoot. In the locker room afterward, they catch each other looking in the showers, and fans have dubbed this the butt scene around the world, and for good reason. What makes this scene work isn't just the obvious physical attraction, it's the way it establishes their entire dynamic in a matter of seconds. Ilya makes suggestive eye contact while Shane is caught between desire and panic, and the energy between them is described by critics as raw and frantic, 2 people losing control before they've even touched. This scene leads directly to their first intimate encounter, setting the template for everything that follows. These aren't 2 people slowly discovering attraction, they're 2 people immediately consumed by it, fighting against forces stronger than their considerable willpower.
And it felt like we were something.
We can't be something, Hollander.
Filming took place on location at Toronto facilities designed to replicate NHL locker rooms, and it required Williams and Story to establish their physical communication system from day one. That system would become crucial as the show progressed into increasingly intimate territory. Number 8. One episode ends with one of the most visually stunning moments in the entire series. Shane has begun publicly dating actress Rose Landry, played by Sophie Nilis, and he and Ilya find themselves at the same club, surrounded by people, noise, and the performance of their separate lives.
Ilya, I'm gay.
You're not so gay you can't fuck Rose Landry.
Oh my god.
And that's when the entire club freezes. Everyone around them moves in slow motion, while Shane and Ilya stare at each other, the world moving around them while they remain locked in place. Fans describe the poetry of this moment perfectly, pointing to the absolute earnest love on Ilya's face throughout and the fear on Shane's. The sequence required extensive technical choreography due to lighting, extras placement, and slow-motion requirements, but the result is consistently cited as one of the most visually striking moments in the series. This is a rare instance where Heated Rivalry uses visual effects not for spectacle but to externalize the emotional reality of these characters.
You're not jealous, are you?
No.
I'm sorry, sir. We'd really like to accommodate you, but...
When Shane and Ilya look at each other, the rest of the world literally doesn't matter, and the freeze makes that metaphor literal. Number 7.
You like tuna melt?
You want to make me a tuna melt?
I was gonna make one for me, I can make two.
Earlier in that same episode, we get what fans call the first name scene, or the tuna melt scene. Shane visits Ilya's Boston apartment, which is a significant step in itself since they've spent years limiting their interactions to hotels and stolen moments. Ilya cooks tuna melts, and has stocked Shane's favorite ginger ale, despite Shane never telling him what it is. Throughout the episode, Shane searches for ginger ale elsewhere and gets repeatedly denied, but Ilya had it ready without being asked, which is a small detail that speaks volumes about how much attention Ilya pays to Shane and how much he knows about him despite the constraints of their relationship.
People say you're not funny.
They do?
Yeah. They say you're boring too.
During an intimate couch conversation, they call each other by their first names for the first time, not Hollander and Rozanoff, the rivals and teammates, but Shane and Ilya, the people beneath those identities.
Hollander.
I'm sorry.
Shane immediately panics at this sudden intimacy and flees, claiming a fake team meeting. Critics called this scene deliberately mundane and ordinary, but stuffed with so much subtext, and they're right because it's not dramatic or visually spectacular. It's two people sitting on a couch eating sandwiches, but the emotional weight is devastating. The ginger ale detail became a particular fan obsession, a perfect example of how Heated Rivalry uses small specific moments to build its emotional foundation.
It's you. It's this.
Number 6. Now we reach the scene that defines Heated Rivalry for most viewers. After winning MVP at the MLH Awards, Ilya brings Shane to his hotel suite, and what follows is a scene of such intensity that it was chosen as the very first scene filmed in the entire production, shot on day 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Now take off your clothes.
Ilya commands Shane to undress and pleasure himself while Ilya watches from across the room. Hudson Williams chose not to use protective padding for this scene, later expressing dissatisfaction with his physical appearance while acknowledging the scene's power. Rachel Reed herself sat on set for 4 hours with headphones, listening to them film without being able to see the closed set, and the author was so overwhelmed by what she heard that she later wrote an alternate point of view scene from Ilya's perspective due to fan demand. Critics called it raw, frantic energy, not just hot, but two people losing control.
Come here.
No, you come here.
No, you come here.
No, you come here.
Jacob Tierney defended the explicitness of scenes like this by explaining that intimacy is a language for this show. It's the way these two guys know each other, they don't talk a lot, they have intimate moments a lot, and he pointed out that the audience isn't here despite the explicit content, they're here for it.
How about you tell me everything that's on your mind, but in Russian?
This was a risky choice for the first day of filming because asking actors who barely knew each other to perform such a vulnerable scene could have backfired spectacularly. But Williams and Story's chemistry was so strong that it set the tone for everything that followed.
Fuck you, he played hockey for McGill.
Whoa. What the fuck is McGill? Is McGill a town?
It's a really good school.
Salon compared the intimate scenes in Heated Rivalry favorably to Outlander, saying they were more confrontational than Claire and Jamie Fraser's candlelit interludes and Burned Many Times Hotter. RogerEbert.com described Williams and Story as sharing chemistry so intense it rivals Bogart and Bacall. Number 5. One episode builds toward two interconnected climaxes, and we'll get to the bigger one in a moment. But first, we need to talk about a single phone call that became one of the most romantic moments in the series. Throughout the show, Shane has invited Ilya to his family's cottage, a private retreat and a place that represents Shane's real life away from hockey and the public eye. Ilya has never accepted, and the invitation sits between them as a symbol of everything they can't quite reach. And that's when Scott Hunter kisses his boyfriend Kip publicly on live television after winning the Stanley Cup, becoming the first openly gay player in Major League Hockey. Shane and Ilya watch this separately, both understanding what it means and what it represents. Ilya calls Shane and delivers one of the most romantic lines in the series, just 5 words. "I'm coming to the cottage." Those 5 words signal Ilya's readiness to fully commit, his acceptance of Shane's standing invitation, and his willingness to step into Shane's real life instead of just their secret one. Collider called it the moment where everything comes to a culmination, and the line became a viral catchphrase among fans, a shorthand for commitment and the courage it takes to choose love over fear. The genius of this moment is its simplicity because after episodes of complex emotional choreography, of scenes where Shane and Ilya communicate in glances and half statements, Ilya finally says something direct and clear. No ambiguity, no hiding, he's coming to the cottage. Number 4. The cottage itself provides another crucial moment from the finale. After Shane comes out to his parents, which we'll talk about shortly, he begins to panic about what he's done, the exposure, the risk. Ilya steadies him with these words. Your family is here. Your boyfriend is here. You're good here. Shane repeats the word boyfriend, like an epiphany, like he's hearing it for the first time even though it's been true for years. And this is the moment he realizes what Ilya is to him, not just his secret or his rival or the person he shares intimacy with in hotels, but his boyfriend. The moment crystallizes their transition from secret lovers to acknowledged partners and ranks among the most romantic and emotionally cathartic scenes in the finale. A single word that redefines their entire relationship. Throughout 6 episodes, we've watched Shane and Ilya steal moments, hide, and perform their rivalry for cameras while aching for each other in private. The word boyfriend represents the end of that performance, at least between them, because it's a claim, an acknowledgement, and a step toward the life they actually want. Number 3. This scene wasn't in the book. Jacob Tierney added it specifically for the show, and it became one of the most emotionally devastating moments in the entire series. In the finale, Shane's father, David, accidentally catches Shane and Ilya kissing and rushes out, which means Shane must come out to both his parents. His conversation with his mother, Yuna, played by Christina Chang, destroys viewers every time. Shane says, Mom, I need you to know that I did really try. I tried really hard, but I just can't help it. I'm sorry. Hudson Williams said this scene ruined him the most when he read the script, and the scene was actually rewritten overnight after rain-delayed exterior filming, which makes its emotional precision even more remarkable. Christina Chang's performance as Yuna earned particular praise for balancing maternal love with the shock of revelation. This isn't a scene where a parent immediately embraces and accepts. It's messier than that and more real, because Yuna loves her son, but she's also processing something she never expected and never prepared for. The I did really try breaks hearts because it reveals how long Shane has been fighting himself and how much effort he's expended trying to be someone he isn't. The apology is devastating because Shane has internalized the idea that his identity is something he should apologize for, something he's failed at by being unable to change. By adding this scene, Tierney gave Shane's journey a weight and specificity that elevated the entire finale. This isn't just about 2 hockey players finding love, it's about the cost of hiding, the courage required to stop hiding, and the uncertain aftermath when you finally tell the truth. Number 2. Now we reach what might be the most important scene in the entire series, even though it doesn't directly involve Shane and Ilya. Scott Hunter's New York Admirals win the Stanley Cup, and Scott motions for his boyfriend Kip to join him on the ice, and kisses him publicly on live television, becoming the first openly gay MLH player. Francois Arnault, who plays Scott, cried when watching the finished sequence, and he said Jacob Tierney came into the room crying too, and they just held each other. Robbie G.K., who plays Kip, said when he first watched it he was just giddy about it, calling it the moment where all these storylines intersect. CGI crowds were added in post-production, but Arnault said watching it felt like watching a real hockey game, like something epic unfolding. This scene works on multiple levels because on the surface it's triumphant, a gay athlete claiming his moment, his victory, his love publicly and without shame. But it's also the catalyst that makes Shane and Ilya's finale possible, because by going public and showing it can be done, Scott opens a door that Shane and Ilya have kept firmly closed. The scene demonstrates why Heated Rivalry works despite focusing on 2 characters in the closet. The show doesn't present hiding as noble or romantic, it presents it as painful and limiting. And Scott and Kip's storyline runs parallel to Shane and Ilya's, showing what's possible when you choose honesty over fear. In a show about secrets and stolen moments, Scott and Kip provide the counterpoint, public, joyful, and free. Their kiss on the ice is the emotional engine that drives Shane and Ilya toward the cottage, toward Ilya's phone call, toward boyfriend, toward everything the finale makes possible. Number 1. And now we reach the best moment in Heated Rivalry, the scene that brings everything together. In the finale, Shane and Ilya spend 2 weeks alone at Shane's family cottage, conducting what they call an experiment in complete honesty about their feelings. After years of carefully controlled interactions, of limiting what they say and how they say it, they're finally allowing themselves to speak freely. Ilya confesses his love first, in Russian, then in English, and Shane reciprocates. Connor's story delivered a 4-page emotional monologue entirely in Russian, and when Jacob Tierney asked dialect coach Kate Yablanovsky what was usable after 1 take, she responded with all of it, "He humbles me." The scene shows tears gathering in Shane's eyes, not falling but glinting off the soft lighting of the cottage, and it's intimate and quiet and enormous all at once. Filming took place during the final 2 days of production, and the very last scene they shot was Ilya telling Shane about his late mother while lying in Shane's lap, which adds another layer of emotional weight to these cottage scenes. The actors knew they were shooting the culmination of everything they'd built over months of work. What makes this the best moment isn't just the love confessions themselves, though those are powerful. It's what they represent, the end of hiding from each other. Shane and Ilya have spent a decade hiding from the world, but they've also been hiding from each other, carefully managing their emotions and never quite saying what they mean. At the cottage, they stop hiding and conduct their experiment in honesty. Ilya speaks for 4 pages in Russian about what Shane means to him, and Shane understands even before the English translation comes. This is the moment the entire season has been building toward, the payoff for 6 episodes of tension and longing and stolen glances. It's why Jacob Tierney chose to end the finale at the cottage rather than adapting the book's epilogue about their charity organization, because the last 4 minutes of the show needed to be about Shane and Ilya together, choosing each other, finally saying the words that make it real. These 9 moments represent more than just highlights from a television show. They represent a shift in how queer romance is portrayed on screen, how seriously it's taken, and how honestly it's depicted. Heated Rivalry became a phenomenon because it refused to compromise. Jacob Tierney took Rachel Reed's explicit romance novel seriously, treating it with the same care and craft he'd bring to any prestige drama, and he insisted on authentic intimacy and showing physical connection as a language between characters who struggle with verbal communication. Hudson Williams and Connor Story brought chemistry so intense that it elevated every scene they shared. Williams portrayed Shane as autistic after Rachel Reed confirmed the character was on the spectrum, bringing specificity and care to that representation, and Story studied Russian daily throughout filming, working with dialect coach Kate Yablanovsky to create an authentic accent. The show earned a 98% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and became Crave's most-watched original series ever. It drove a 400% viewership increase and was nominated for a GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding New TV Series. Rachel Reed's Game Changers book series has sold 650,000 copies, and following the show's premiere, Kindle editions became bestsellers on Amazon, while paperback editions sold out nationwide. Hudson Williams revealed receiving messages from closeted professional athletes, and the Montreal Canadiens played the Heated Rivalry trailer on their Jumbotron twice, including during Pride Night. Renewal for a second season came in mid-December, less than 2 weeks after the premiere. Season 2 will adapt The Long Game, the 6th book in Rachel Reed's series, and Hudson Williams teased that Season 2 will be hotter, wetter, and longer, though Jacob Tierney warned it won't premiere the same time next year. These 9 moments, from the shower scene that started it all to the cottage confessions that brought the season home, represent the best of what Heated Rivalry accomplished. They show 2 people fighting for connection against enormous obstacles, both external and internal, and they show the cost of hiding and the courage required to stop. The hotel scene established their physical intensity, while the first name scene revealed their desperate desire for something real. The club freeze made their emotional isolation visible. Scott and Kip's kiss showed what was possible, and the cottage gave Shane and Ilya space to finally, honestly choose each other. Heated Rivalry succeeded because it took its characters seriously, because it refused to soften the edges or apologize for what it was, and it gave us explicit, honest queer romance that didn't shy away from intimacy or emotion or the complicated reality of loving someone when the world tells you that love is impossible. Rachel Reed put it perfectly when she said Jacob Tierney took it very seriously, more seriously than romance ever gets taken, and in doing so he created something that changed how romance gets filmed and proved an audience exists for honest queer storytelling, done with craft and care. These 9 moments are the proof. They're why Heated Rivalry became Crave's biggest hit, why viewers around the world connected to Shane and Ilya's story, and why the show earned its 98% rating and its GLAAD nomination, and its 2nd season. They're the moments that made Heated Rivalry not just a successful adaptation, but a genuine cultural phenomenon that proved what's possible when you trust your audience, trust your source material, and trust 2 actors with undeniable chemistry to bring a decade-long love story to life.